Hello, and thank you for viewing the Applicant Portal how-to video. This video will give you instructions on how to complete the online pre-application in the portal. You will need a valid email address and phone number in order to complete the pre-application. Before you begin the application process, please prepare the following: your email address. To create an email account, go to gmail.com or yahoo.com or get help at your local library, the name of the head of household, his or her date of birth, current address, phone number, and social security number, or alien registration number if he or she has one, the name of the spouse or co-head of the head of household, if applicable, his or her date of birth, current address, phone number, and social security number, or alien registration number if she or he has one, the total number of people, including yourself, that will live in the household, the total annual income from all sources, and paper and pen ready to write down the confirmation number of your submitted application for the lottery. You will also receive an email with this information. The Applicant Portal is available in multiple languages, including English, Spanish, Tagalog, Korean, Chinese, Russian, and Armenian. To select a language other than English, tap the icon that looks like 3 bars in the top left corner of the screen and select another language from the available options. You will also see other menu options that we will explain throughout this video. First, let's review the Frequently Asked Questions section. Here, you will see some general information as well as the Frequently Asked Questions list. You can get more information about a question by tapping each question listed. By tapping the icon that looks like 3 bars in the top left corner of the screen, you can tap Home to return to the home screen or select other available options. Applications must be submitted online through a smartphone, mobile device, or a computer with internet access. If you need help identifying locations with free internet access in your area, or need help setting up an email account, you may tap the Internet Access and Email Setup Classes link from this side menu. Tapping this link will show you a map of the city of Los Angeles. You can use the tools on the left of the map to zoom in and out. Tap the target icon on the top left of the map to find your current location. You will see colored dots on the map indicating locations with free internet access and public computer courses. Tapping on a colored dot will show you more information about each location and what services are offered. You can get more help by tapping the question mark on the left part of the map. This button will also let you filter the map based upon your needs. Returning to the home screen to begin the application process, tap the Apply Now button. Please ensure you have all information needed to complete the application before beginning. If there is no activity for 30 minutes on an open application that has not been completed and submitted, the system will close the session to protect your information, and you will need to start a new application from the beginning. On the first page, enter the head of household's email address in both boxes, phone number, first name, middle initial if available, last name, and date of birth. The head of household must be a person of majority who will be wholly or partly responsible for rent payment. The head of household must be a signatory to the lease and may not be a minor or dependent. Be sure to check the box located next to I'm not a robot. If the reCAPTCHA feature asks you to complete a picture test, please do so in order to move forward. You will need to complete all requested information to move forward. Please check that all sections are complete, then tap the Save and Continue button to move to the next page. If at any point you need to abandon the application to start over at a different time, you may close the Internet window on your device or tap the icon that looks like 3 bars in the top left corner of the screen and tap the Close Session link to protect your personal information. Your application progress will not be saved, and you will need to start over from the beginning when you revisit the site. This page will ask you for more detailed information about the head of household. If you have questions about any of the questions, tap on the blue question mark for more information. The head of household's first name, last name, and date of birth will automatically populate using the information entered on the previous page. You will need to select a citizenship status for the head of household using the drop-down menu under the Citizenship heading. You may choose U.S. citizen, U.S. legal resident, or non-resident. If you select U.S. citizen, you will need to enter the Social Security number for the head of household. If you select U.S. legal resident, you will need to enter the alien registration number for the head of household. If you select non-legal resident, no additional information is required. The head of household does not need to be a legal resident of the United States to apply, as long as there is one household member present that has legal residency, even if it's a minor child. You may select the ethnicity of the head of household using the drop-down menu. This information is not used to determine eligibility. If you prefer not to answer this question, select Prefer not to disclose. Next, you will enter the sex of the head of household. This information is not used to determine eligibility. If you prefer not to answer this question, select Prefer not to disclose. You have the option to enter the race of the head of household. You may select as many choices as needed to best represent the head of household's race. Again, this information is not used to determine eligibility. If you prefer not to answer this question, select Prefer not to disclose. Finally, you have the ability to select the disability status of the head of household. Disability status is not used to determine eligibility. If you prefer not to answer this question, select Prefer not to disclose. Once all information has been entered, tap the Save and Continue button to move to the next page. Here, you will specify if the head of household has a spouse or co-head. A spouse is the marriage partner of the head of household. If the head of household has a spouse as a family member, no other person can be co-head. The co-head is an individual in the household who is equally responsible for the lease with the head of household and must be an adult. A family may have a co-head or spouse, but not both. Once you have selected whether or not there is a spouse or co-head, tap the Save and Continue button to move to the next page. If yes, you will be prompted to fill out the same types of information previously filled out for the head of household, including your spouse or co-head's name, date of birth, citizenship status, ethnicity, sex, race, and disability status. You will also be asked to select whether this person is the head of household spouse or whether they are a co-head. If you select No, you will go straight to the contact information screen. Once you have made your selection, tap Save and Continue. On this page, you will provide the current address and mailing address for the head of household. This will allow the housing authority to contact the family with updates by mail if needed. If the mailing address is the same as the current address for the household, tap the checkbox in the top left corner and the site will copy your current address over to the mailing address fields. You must enter the current address, city, state, and zip code. The phone number will populate using the number you entered earlier. Once you hit Save and Continue, the website may bring up a possible, more correct address based on the information from the U.S. Post Office. The website will default to using this address. If you do not want the address recommended by our website, select the radio button for Your Input Address and tap the Save and Continue button, or you may go back to the previous page and enter a new address. If you previously entered information for a spouse or co-head, the next page will ask if the spouse or co-head has different contact information from the head of household. Select the appropriate answer and click the Save and Continue button. If they do, the next page will ask you to enter the spouse or co-head's contact information just as you did for the head of household. If they do not have different contact information from the head of household, you will move to the Household Information screen. On this page, Please enter the total number of people in your family or household who you are including for housing assistance. Count all persons, including foster children or adults, and other unrelated individuals who reside with the family as part of the household. Also include persons who are members of the household but are temporarily absent from the home. You will need to enter the total annual income for your family. This is all money received by every family member for the year. Once you have entered all information, click the Save and Continue button. If the household income is larger than the amount allowed for the family of that size, the system may give you a message indicating that the family is not eligible for assistance. If you made a mistake, you may use the Go Back to Previous Page button and enter a different amount. This page will ask you some additional questions about the household. You must answer all of these questions in order to proceed with the application process. Once you have entered all information, click the Save and Continue button. After entering all of the household information questions, you will need to certify that the information is true and correct. If you need to make any changes, you can go back using the Go Back to Previous Page button. If no changes need to be made, you will need to check the box verifying that all of the information is true and correct. Be sure to read the warning statement on the page before checking the box to confirm that the information is correct. Tap Save and Continue to move forward. This is the confirmation page where you can print the confirmation number for your records if your mobile device is connected to a printer. You will also receive an email confirmation using the email address that you entered. Please note that it may take several minutes to receive your email confirmation. Please be sure to note the confirmation number, as you will need this information for future updates. Once you have finished the application and printed or saved the confirmation for your records, tap the icon that looks like 3 bars in the top left corner and tap the Close Session link from the options. Now we've come to the end of the video tour. Thank you and have a great day.